All right. Well, guys, it's going to be just me tonight. Um, Corey is having some personal things go on. Everything's good right now. He's doing his thing, so he's just a little tied up right now. Zach, he's up in the mountains, so it'll just be me tonight. Nothing too exciting, just coming from me. So, yeah, man, we've got a good week lined up. It's going to be the Footbrake Showdown Madness number 9 this weekend, and that's something that's a race we're really proud of. We're really excited about. And actually, I'm just looking around. I forgot my notepad, so give me just 1 second. All right, we're back. So yeah, that's been going on for 9 years now. That was actually some of you guys know, but it was the last race that Grandpa was actually involved with on designing and helping us do it. It was actually his idea. We hashed out some details. He was sick that year that we done it. We got that race in, and it exceeded expectations that first year. I was looking back, we had 125 cars for that first year. And I remember he was pretty excited about that. And like I said, that was the last race he helped us design. So we're pretty proud of that race. We enjoy that race. It's always a good time. It's just foot brake racing. You got to have a foot brake car. It's got to be a door car. No electronics. Man, it runs fast. We keep it simple. There's no other classes. There's first and second round buybacks, weather permitting. Free entry. You pay 20 at the gate. Costs nothing to race. We don't do double entries. I've had some guys beat us up about that, but this time of year with it being so cold, it's hard to do that stuff. So I kind of avoid the double entries right now. And I just don't see it happening. I don't know how we could do it. But I went back and I checked because I was like, man, this race has been going on. It's been a long race for us. So I need to know who won, like who's won these races. And I had to go back and dig through the archives. But in 2018, for the very first race, Tyler Ruff won. And that was a one-day show. We had a rain out on Sunday. So one-day show, Tyler Ruff takes the win for the first ever Footbrake Showdown Madness. In 2019, it's a single day again. We just got Saturday in. Brandon White's going to take the win there. In 2020, single day again, Rodney Fincham takes the win. Moving on to 2021, we did get both days in. Track legend Robert Hamrick takes the win on Saturday, followed by Ralph Deloche on Sunday. Then into 2022, Phil Combs and teammate take the win. I think they both put them in the finals. And then Jacob Ritchie on Sunday for 2022. 2023, Bad Chad Dotson takes the win on Saturday and Aaron Brock on Sunday. 24, Chad Dotson takes the win again on Sunday and Levi Boozer on Saturday. And in 2025, last year, Matt Ward took the win on Saturday, our track champion, and Daryl Powell, another tough guy out here at Shadyside Dragway, takes the win on Sunday. So there is a huge, huge list of awesome racers that have taken the wins here. And I'll try to get a graphic made up. I'll get with Corey on that and get something put up because that's a long-running race. You know, you don't have a lot of races that run 9+ years. And so going into your 9th year, that's a big deal. So, but we'll get that race kicked off. Let me pull that flyer up real quick. That race is going to kick off Saturday. I've had some people messaging, man, if you want to come camp Friday, you're welcome to. There's no rigmarole about that. You just show up on Friday and you're good to go. Get comfy, hang out. You might see us in and out. I'm trying to pull that flyer up now. So, yeah, man, gates are going to open at 12 both days. The gate fee is $20. It's an all-run, no ET brake foot brake race. Deep staging is honored. Electronic shifters. You can have electric shifters. No starting line enhancements. 2-step, trans brake, etc. If you are a clutch car, if you are a straight drive car, you can run the 2-step. I answered a guy about that today. We do the buy runs for each round. It'll be given to the best buy that round. So, I mean, the best reaction time that round. So, and it doesn't carry over. So if you get it this time and you didn't get to use it, you're still eligible to get it again, but it doesn't carry over. This will be 3,000 to win both days, Saturday, Sunday. And that's about it, man. The race is simple. I'm telling you, we run it fast as we can. We keep it pushing, but it is a fun race with a lot of awesome racers participating. And there will be no testing this weekend either. So no testing during that Footbrake race. We just try to get in and get it done. Been a rough winter so far, man. Been not much testing happening. So hopefully this weather's about to break and we're going to be back in action. After that, let's see what we're getting into. After that, we roll into March when we have our first points race, March 14th and 15th. And then we've got Cash Days to warm up, the 2021, and then Carolina Gold, 27-28. And that's where your big Little Gangsters race will be happening, the qualifier for King of the South. So we're looking forward to that. John's working on another class. I don't know where he's landed on that yet. We'll have a lot more info coming up on Carolina Gold here in the next week about testing and all that good stuff. So I need to find the flyer for that. I should have had all that ready, I guess. But it's pretty straightforward too, man. We're going to kick off Friday with that free race for Pro and Super Pro like we always do. That'll be testing for cars that are racing that weekend. We'll have more entry fees and stuff on that coming up. Saturday, typically we do 2 shakedowns, weather permitting again. If we have to chop that, that's what will have to be done. Little Gangsters, you're off the trailer. You know that already. Jess, my first race is this weekend. It's just a Footbrake race. There's no other classes running. It's a big Footbrake race, 3,000 to win, Saturday and Sunday, free entry. So $20 to get in the gate, and you can enter into that race. You will have to go through a tech inspection, all that good stuff. That'll get you out of the way. So come get inspected, fill out your tech card. You're done for the year as long as everything passes. That's something we kind of implemented over the last couple of years is getting you through the tech, getting it done, and you're done for the year. No more having to cover that. So Cash Days is going to be fun. That is something Corey came up with years ago. We put that through the run, put it into the schedule one year, and it just worked out really well. It's a no prep race. We don't touch the track. We don't de-prep the track, anything like that. We'll test Thursday night. We'll scrape it that night, and whatever you got Friday on is what you got. Let's see here. Yeah, so Corey will have the next 10 on the King of the South posted sometime this week. I'm trying to find this Cash Days flyer. I don't have much to talk about, and without my guys here, it's hard to banter back and forth, man. If y'all got any questions, hit them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer what we can. Some of that stuff is just not quite ready yet. Did get an email from the IHRA. They're working on some contingency stuff for you guys that are racing points this year. If you're in the IHRA points, I'll have more info out on it. Like I said, man, just not a lot to go on about today. Our small campfires allowed while camping? Yes, just keep them contained. Don't be burning stuff with nails in it. You know, use common sense. I don't mind fires. I know we all do. I might can get you here, Sammy. I'll get you in. I need your email, Sammy. Drop your email. It's $20 a day, Jess, for the Footbrake race this weekend. But yeah, Sammy's got Truck Wars looking good this year, dude. We're excited about that. Man, like I said, hit us with some questions here. My boys being gone's killing me. Usually I got Corey helping with production. He's got some flyers he can post up and we can go over things. And Zach's good for sitting there and piping up every now and again. I don't really have anything too dramatic to say this week. Little Gangsters will not be there this weekend. This is just a footbrake race. They will be there for there is a Outlaw 530, which is run on a Little Gangsters format at Cash Days, March 20th and 21st. And then they'll be at Carolina Gold. The what did I say that date was? 27th, 28th of March. Gates open both days at 10, starting at 12 both days. Man, not much updates coming from the track. I'll have a video posted up on YouTube this week where we've been doing a little bit more dirt work, trying to expand some parking. I got to call a couple guys tomorrow, line up some more work. I'm just trying to make some more pit parking and some more fan parking. We're pretty tapped out after the last couple of years of upgrades, so haven't been able to do as much, and it's been a rough winter here. Real slow. I keep waiting on Sammy to send me his email. I was going to add him to the chat, see what he had to say today. Let me see if I can get Sammy in on here. Would you like to have a service? Yes, Michael. I talked to Dennis about that, and yeah, that would be great. If you guys want to line that up and let me know the times and stuff, we can definitely get started with that this year. Let me get Sammy here. Sammy, pace hour. Need email. But anyway, yeah, man. So after that, we'll be moving on to AOL. So after Carolina Gold, I've got a bike race April 4th, Grudge Bikes, and then the Southeast Gassers, April 10th and 11th. So definitely one you don't want to miss. I'm going to add Sammy here in just a second. We're going to email him a link, maybe. To Boost is my... I'm going to holler it out so everybody can email him. All right. And then we sent out. All right. So I'm going to try to get Sammy on here in just a second. But, man, I feel like I'm forgetting something I wanted to go over. Everything's looking good. We have all but, I think, 4 or 5 guys locked into the King of the South. And I think we're over half of our nights right now. Their due dates are coming up. I don't want to speak too far ahead. Let me check my notes. Me and Corey have got notes going. I might be able to tell you who's the next 10 that we're dropping. But I don't think I can. It's not on here. Corey's probably watching me right now and just enjoying himself. Yeah, like I said, four of them. We've got a lot of big news coming this year for that King of the South race. There's some partnerships working out. Guys are already locked in. We are waiting on a couple. There's a couple sending checks. So as soon as they get here and I know that they're locked, we can get that list closed up. Knights of the South. If you're on that Knights of the South list, man, you need to get it sent in. Let us get you locked in. I'll be finalizing some of this stuff with Todd Sinclair on the bracket side of things. So you guys be looking out for that. I was also going back and looking on that Footbrake Madness. I should have written it down, but I think Brent Hyatt actually runnered up in that thing about 4 or 5 times on different days through different years. Just hadn't quite closed the deal there. Yeah, Jordan Jr., I've got the hair growing back out. I'm about tired of it though. I might be snagging that off soon. I might do a mohawk or something. Let's see. Like I said, guys, I don't have a ton to go over without my guys here. Any vendors or just concession stand? There'll be just concession that week, this weekend. Also, I'm learning StreamYard, so this has been throwing me to the wolves here. This is throwing me to the wolves here that Corey's done. So I had to learn how to do some of this stuff real quick.
Message on your phone from Sammy.
I'm going to try one more time, Sammy. Let's see what we can do. This is I think I seen what I done there. I miskeyed something, Sammy. All right, check your inbox now, Sammy. We'll get you guys going there. And I'll get you added to the screen. We can go over some Shadyside Outlaw stuff. Stick cars get to two-step, right? Yes, sir. Yes, if you are on a clutch for the Footbrake race, you can use the two-step. Can't run the moped in the race. Can't do that. Let's see. Thursdays are going to start your first Thursday in March. So as soon as that happens, let's see here. Guest. I just don't messenger. I'll try that, Sammy. Hold on a second. Maybe, if it'll work. Like I said, guys, bear with me here. I'm learning this whole system. So we're going to send it to my buddy here. Hold on a second, Sammy. There he is. I got you. Hold on. Let me add you to the stage here, bro.
I got you. Listen, anytime Corey wants to abandon us and Seth or Zach wants to go out there and play with his RC cars or whatever he's doing, I got you. You ain't got to be all by yourself.
Man, he's true loving.
That's sweet. So when is the first Thursday we're going to open up for Test and Tune? I've had that question this week.
Typically, it's the first Thursday of March. Let me see. It'll be March 12th will be the first one because that's after daylight saving time. So I'm not going to open up before daylight savings time.
Understandable. Like getting dark early and all that stuff. So that's a smart move.
March 12th. That's my birthday too.
Is it? Well, happy early birthday.
You going to bring me something?
Yeah. So I'll probably oil down the track that night or something.
Yeah, that's be
bring you a mop and some cleaner.
I like that.
Y'all been doing all right though.
Oh God, yeah, man. We've just been chipping away, finally getting back to work. I was telling them I've been chipping away at some of the third level dirt, extending some parking, and I'm gonna get some grass seed out, and that's about it.
It's about the longest we've been without drag racing for as far as I remember. Like I'm going stir crazy.
I don't remember. I know last year winter wasn't good, but I feel like I got like we'd rain for about 2 or 3 weeks, we'd get one in, and this has been brutal.
No, it's bad. Like it ain't every Sunday. Every Sunday. We went and played Top Golf yesterday in the rain. So, but I was sitting there like, I don't remember it ever being this many. Like, I remember being the day after Christmas being on the starting line of that place and there'd be snow on the ground on the edges around it. You know what I mean? Like in
Yeah,
2017 or 18, I'm like, man, this is freaking crazy.
yeah, yeah. That was the most snow I think I've ever seen. Franklin, if I can get one or the other days in, I definitely will. If it rains Saturday, we'll run Sunday. If it's going to run Sunday, we'll just do Saturday. But
So,
go
I
ahead.
was going to no, fish sandwich on.
I was going to ask you, have you got anything on the back channels of Truck Wars and Shadyside Outlaws?
So everything with like Truck Wars. So Truck Wars is your normal. It has to have tags and insurance. And the main reason why I need to go over this because I've had a few people ask about it. They said, it's kind of you shouldn't have to have tags and insurance. Well, we call it a street class. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to have tags and insurance for that.
Yeah.
But I am also, and I've said it one other time, I'm going to have a cruise one night throughout the year. One night, there's going to be a night that we're going to pop a cruise on. We're going to go up the road. It ain't going to be very far, but we will hit a cruise. And that's the purpose behind the tag and insurance. Because I remember, like, with the 704 Outlaw stuff at Shadyside
Yeah.
was really cool when it had streetcar rules. Everybody just roll down the track. They roll out the gate. They roll back in together. There was just like awesomeness there,
That was fun. I like the street cruise stuff. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing something. Corey used to have a class called Extreme Street we used to run.
Yep.
And we ran that one for years, but that was part of its whole stick was it had to go on a cruise. And we didn't get much. I had to have 2 seats. I had to go on a cruise, had to have everything functioning. And it done well for several years. And then it kind of fell off. But I wouldn't mind seeing something like that come back if you could keep the entry fee low enough and let those guys have fun periodically and just call it Extreme Street. You got to do a 30-mile cruise, whatever. Get back, make a pass.
Well, that's what happened. That's original 704 Outlaws. That's all it was. It was roll up windows, tags on 28. And then every year the rules got a little bit more and a little bit more and catered to this and a little bit more on that. And then Derek cried about his shocks costing so much and we shouldn't have one of these stupid street cruises because you can put a nail in a tire, which it's all valid points. It is a valid point that he had, but it was because he was rather having to put center blocks in the back of his car to make weight on that old car that he was claiming was 3,100 pounds.
Yeah.
But so it might be 3,100 pounds now because he likes to eat all them damn bologna sandwiches. But outside of that, back then he was there putting some bricks off the side. But no, for real though, like I personally think a lot of people are over analyzing this rule change, and it's because like it's weird because when the rules came, everybody complained about them, everybody cried about it, everybody had a problem with it. Now we're taking the rules away, and people's crying about it. People's having a problem, and they just have to show up. When you show up, you'll see it's going to be a great show. I really, really, really think if we can get the people out the houses and off the couch, it'll be the best year of outlaw racing we've had. We'll have the baddest hot rods, I know.
I agree. I think it'll be awesome. It just most classes go through this evolution, and I mean you've seen it with 704 and what happened there, and you see it with any class. I mean the Extreme Street thing we were talking about, X275. Any of these classes just evolve past the point, and something new takes its place. And people are gonna complain. I know that. I mean, this is all I've ever done is racing, right? All I know is race promotions. I don't know anything else. People are going to complain. And they don't understand some of the stuff. what it takes to keep a class successful. Personally, I like rules. I'm a big fan of getting a package together, seeing what you can do within that package. But a lot of people think they like rules, but they don't. We only had 6 cars showing up at Shadyside Outlaws last year.
Exactly.
And it's nothing. Sometimes I say things a little too blunt, but it's like, that's not sustainable. I can't run a 6-car field. And as much as I love it and we've watched it grow, that only gets you so far before you have to make the business decision of, all right, I can run 530s. I can run 630. I can run truck wars. I can run an all out 28s, 275 class and move on. But that's not what we want to do. So I think opening the rules is the way to go. I think Shadyside Outlaws just evolved to that point, and that's what it's going to be for now.
Well, it's like truck wars. Truck wars, that was our first year, and we had as many trucks or more trucks in truck wars on a night that I'd say, hey, we're going to have truck wars tonight. And we would just have a turnout, and they would show up. But, like, everything evolves. It has to evolve. And rules are good. So, I do like certain rules, and I do think, like, on the 26-inch tire stuff that we used to have, them cars, they would run their guts out at 3,400 pounds or whatever it was at the time to run 490s. And if you put that on like a Thursday night prep, you could put them guys out there and they would never complain because the surface is there. The one thing that killed 704 was the cars evolved so fast, so quickly that people started crying about the prep. Because me and because we've mopped that track plenty of times. We've went up and down that track. You cannot control people in their cars that have their air conditioning on. You can tell them to turn their air off, but if it drips a couple of drops, you can't control it. All we can do is mop it up. If they take their street tire down and spin 60 feet and chop the groove up, we can't dig the surface up and re-glue it in one night. It's not one of the things that's sustainable. So you have to adapt around the situation. So if you have a class that you're shooting for like 470s, 480s, 490s, you could run that all the time and you would never hear no complaining about it. But who wants to have their cars at 3,000 plus pounds, running the guts out of them to run that?
No, you hit the nail on the head there, because we had this debate. It went online. Jason Dorsey was the ringleader, and I think it was a little bit of a shock factor at the time. I said on there, guys, if you feel like your car has progressed past a Thursday night, that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to. That it is what it is. And Jason was like, well, just tell me you're not going to prep the track. And I'm like, that's what I'm telling you. I'm not trying to hide behind it. I'm telling you, we have 4 hours. We start you guys at 7 o'clock, 7:15. So realistically, you've got about 2 hours and 45 minutes to do 3 rounds of racing. There's other people that are coming there to test and have a good time. It's $15 at the gate. We can't prep. We're not going to. We're not going to shut down every 30 minutes and spend 15 minutes dragging, scraping, respraying.
It don't make no sense. It just ain't gonna happen.
Which now a lot of the street outlaw guys that raced with us last year, they kind of get it. They know there's good nights and bad nights, and 100%. I don't catch much flack. Honestly, more times than not, those guys were like, "That's pretty good tonight, man."
Oh yeah.
And when it was bad, I knew it was bad. I don't need you to tell me. Like now, if it starts getting bad when it shouldn't be, speak up. But when it's 100 in hell outside, you don't go for the moon.
Well, when it turns around and it gets cold outside and it starts the season's falling off and it don't get but 75 degrees all day, and then we're still running at nighttime and the dew starts falling on it, you're not God. You can't control that. But by saying him not saying he's not prepping, he's not saying he ain't gonna prep the track. Right. We're gonna prep the track before anybody goes down the racetrack. The racetrack gets prepped. In between rounds, it gets prep put down. Like before Shadyside Outlaw comes out, every round it gets prepped. There's never a round we say, oh no, we ain't gonna worry about it. There's been times I've been out there rubbing down the track, trying to get the stuff off the track, and we still prep it before Outlaws comes out. Yeah. What he's saying is we're not going to go out here and we're not going to get the tire rotator out. We're not going to eat the surface off of it. We're not going to re-glue it. We can't have a track on Saturday. When you come in on Saturday, we can start out early in the morning. We start getting that track ready all day, and it's like a good steak. You can cure it, and you can work with it all day and get it by the time the nighttime comes. It's great.
You're
But when
gonna
you start at 6 o'clock trying to prep it to 10, a lot of times there are times the track is super great. But there are times that Sammy and I are old the track down. But you know what? It was a Thursday night. It was a test and tune night. So
you're
if
gonna
I
get
oil it down,
$15 and the weather allows. Okay, I promise.
exactly.
You're gonna
You'll get your $15 worth. Exactly.
get $15.
Exactly. And if everybody will come out this year, we'll put a show on for everybody. If, like I told them, we need car count. We need cars showing up. We need people in the stands, because if we have 6 cars show up this year, next year they can just cancel Outlaw, because we're going to go to we're going to go to anything on 28, or we're going to go to 530. 530 is a hot ticket right now. And it's kind of like my YouTube channel. I could do car repair videos, and they do great. Wintertime, I swear I make all my money at. Like, it just, those videos on my YouTube is where I make all my money, is just how to them doing heater cores. But I like the racing, and that's kind of how like Shadyside is right now. Shadyside, we like Shadyside Outlaw, so we want to see, even though that's our favorite, that's not everybody's favorite, because the car count's not there. The fans ain't been there like they have been in seasons past, and we need them to come back to say, "Hey, I want this," or otherwise, you better buy you a big block next winter, or go buy
Yeah.
you a boat.
I had a fan last year get pretty hot at me because he'd come down and it's like, man, there's only 6 cars here. And I'm like, I know, dude. I don't, it's just, this is the times right now. You know, this is what's going on in the class. Looking to make some changes next year. He got kind of hot. And I'm like, well, I can't put a gun to these guys' heads. You know, I can't make you come. All we can do is provide a place to race and do what we think is going to work. And the rules package didn't work. Like I said, I think a lot of people don't understand rules. I think a lot of people look for rules to completely equalize it, where it doesn't matter. I mean, the guy with the most time, if I bought you guys motors and identical cars and said, all right, they're yours. You can't go in the motor. You can't change shocks. Everything's identical. Whoever the guy is that has the most time can take off work is going to go and adjust and make small things until they win. So, I mean, it always comes down to who spends the most money.
Period.
Need the love machine to come back.
I'll bring it back. But no, like I said, we need cars, and that's just all there is to it. Like, if you want to have a working men's class that can come out and race, that's why the truck wars. Somebody can build them a truck for relatively cheap and compete in truck wars. Now, if you want to buy a heavier truck, you're going to have more money in it to run what a lighter truck runs. But that's why we keep the cap on the class, is to make it where it ain't just a S10 class. And we had a great we had a great season last year of different trucks. It wasn't just, I mean, we had a lot of S10s, but Jason had his F100. You know what I mean? We had Clark and stuff like that. We had a lot of different things come out, and we had a really, really good time. We had a lot of full size trucks that show up and race and stuff. And it was a good year for our first year. I expect this year to be even better. But at the end of it all, it's something that you can build on a decent budget and have fun on Thursday night, and that's the main thing. We just want everybody having fun. That's why I didn't take it serious. It's not. I never want it to be a class to where we are just like you're thrashing on these things in and out, and not spend time with your family. This thing should be something like my truck that sits in your driveway until next season, ready to race.
I really enjoyed the impromptu. Hey, y'all want to race tonight? Yeah. And like, you grow the class with a little more scheduling, probably. But on the other hand, man, like I've seen it firsthand. I've had classes that are doing great. Nitrous Street was one of them. What was another one we done? I can't remember now. But there was a couple small, like, budget radial classes that kind of took off, and we were like, oh, we like this. And I added 3 or 4 races to the program. I got them points. I got the jacket from VP at the time, and I thought this will get them going. And it was like it killed it. Like, as soon as it became something serious, the guys were like, I don't know if it's like subconscious, like, oh, if they're going to take it serious, I don't want to be part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I was having fun. So I think keeping it simple and keeping it fun is 100% the way to go with truck wars.
Well, that's been my thing. Like Truck Wars will follow the second Thursday after Outlaws every month. So we run once a month. Outlaws is the first Thursday or the second Thursday, unless it rains. If it rains, I try to hit the third Thursday. If that weather's not good there, I try to hit the fourth Thursday. But I try to get one truck race in a month. But it will never be the first Thursday of the month. It'll never be on the first Thursday of the month, period. So like it always falls on the second one is the one I shoot for unless weather permitting. But I don't want to skip a month of racing. I don't want you to have to go 2 months without racing. I want you in the seat at least once a month. So everybody's like, it's very inconsistent. I'm like, it's not inconsistent. It's just the weather. Well, I'm there every Thursday. So it don't cost me no more to throw that truck on the back of the trailer and bring it with me to the track. Like it don't cost nothing or drive it. We drove it out there and ran it and drove it home and it just don't cost me nothing more. It's just the fact that I shoot for the second Thursday of the month. That way I'm not stepping on the toes of Outlaws or any of the other stuff, because this class was not like something I come to Seth and was like, hey, we're going to have this class, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hey, I'm going to put this little class together on Thursday. I'm going to fit it in between the rounds. It ain't going to be nothing serious. It ain't like y'all have to go out here and prep the track and get all ready for us and do all this. Like, I'm going to work it from the staging without the track's help from that aspect. Like, I wasn't coming to you being like a needy person being like, hey, I need you to get the track ready for me. I need this, that. It wasn't that. It was, I'm gonna show up on Thursday. I'm gonna get this race on in between rounds. That's why we don't even start the first round till later on anyway. It's about 8 o'clock because it's not that serious. Because we do a hot lap type deal.
Oh man, when you first started, I'm gonna tell you a couple things. One, guys that complain about it being inconsistent, I would say there's no points involved. There's no list to keep up with, so you have nothing to lose. If you can't make it, who cares, man? Like.
You read my mind. That was part of it too, because people have families and you have funerals, you have birthdays, you have all kinds of stuff. And I've done the Outlaw thing to where I was there every single Thursday with it, no matter what, because I didn't want to lose my spot. Because that points matter.
Yeah.
I'm not on point system. The very last race of the year is the Super Bowl for Truck Wars. That's the one that's the most money. That's the one that's the most important. That's the one that I really need you to show up to. If you want to be the champion, show up for the last race. And I'm not saying don't come to all the other ones, but the last one of the year is the one for me, is the Super Bowl. So that's like Robert Lane showed up all year long, and he raced and he raced and he raced, and he had issues and he fixed it and fixed it and fixed it. And he showed up the last race and snuck up on everybody. And he was the 2025 champion. Anybody can be the champion. It ain't set, no matter how many races I win, no matter how many, we're not keeping tally of races. The main one is the last one. That's the only one that matters to me, because I don't want you to be like, well, my kid has this, but I really need to be here because I'm in the points for. I don't want that. I want you to come have fun. I don't want you to be mad at me because you missed something special and then you end up getting outrun by me anyway. You know what I mean? Like
What's up?
That's all it is.
Damn. My son graduated. He got his doctorate.
I got my butt whooped. That's great.
The second thing was how improv. Like y'all, you were talking about how you don't really push them that hard. Like we'll start at 8 o'clock. That stressed me out when you guys first started, because I'm like, let me tell you, I know how racing works, and I know how most classes go. They drag around, and then when it turns 10 o'clock, they're baffled. It's like, what are we? I need cool down time, man. Like that's why I was trying to get you going. And so the first couple of times I'd be down there, I'm like, we gotta go. I'll make them up. And I'm like, sure, buddy. I'm sitting in the tower about to pull my hair out. Yeah. And sure enough, here they come around. And I'm like, oh, this is it.
I told them all, it's a street truck class. That one race I ran. Well, there was one race I won. I won my semis. I won the finals. I drove back down the track and I turned around and outrun Randy Queen while I was at. I went ahead and got him. I done beat his whole team up that night. I went ahead and just looped around and that was 3 back-to-back passes back to back. Now, because if you have a true street truck with a radiator and everything that you should have, there should be no problems. And you bring in around at what we're pushing these things, there should be not much problem with you driving through. Because while I'm driving through the pits, my fans are still working. they're cooling things back off. So by the time I make it right back down there, I should be able to come right back in the lanes and make another pass. If I can't, do I really have a street truck? That's the question.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some of the street trucks, some of the street stuff I always liked was they'd do the cruise, fall right into the lanes, and that was first round.
I like
You know,
that too.
that really separates some stuff, because you can push it. You could go on a cruise and push it and get a little hot and do all the things you need to make the cruise. But if you ain't got time to cool down, that's a different story.
It splits. It takes the sandbaggers out of it. It takes them out real quick because, like I said, they start being like, "Well, my car's too hot. I can't run it. I can't run it." Or the car slows down when heat comes into it. It slows them down a little bit. So, like I said, I always like. I try to put on the races from a fan's perspective because I am a big fan of the sport. I've been. This has been my life. I've invested my whole life into it, and for me, like. I know what I like. I know the things I used to love watching them cars drive out that fence. I like seeing videos online when they would record them coming past, going down the road, and then they come back in. There's just something cool about when you take your hot rod and you do hot rod stuff with it. I ain't talking about your little raggedy drag car, but I'm talking about like hot rod stuff. Like you got a cool, fast car, and you're in a pack of other fast cars, and y'all are out hot rodding together. There's just a cool. I don't know. It's just hard to describe the kid inside of me how it always made me feel. You know what I mean? Like it was just, I loved 2016, 2017, 18, 19, and then COVID hit and then stuff got changed around and it was kind of watered down. And we're trying to get the spike back in it. And that's the thing with the Outlaws this year. I think Outlaws are going to be really good. I think it's going to be fast. And I think that anybody that's worried about something, it's probably not the class for you. You know what I mean? Like if you're just worried, if you want to cry about something, I'm not the guy you want to cry to. I promise you. I might pick on you for crying. I'm the kind of, I was a hard dad. My kid, I was a get your butt up, boy. Stop pouting. You're a man. Your boys don't do that. Like if you want to come out to Shadyside, you want to have a good time, a good bologna sandwich, and listen to me talk some junk. Show up. If your feelings are involved in it, we probably don't want you because I want you to come have a good time. I want to bring Outlaw back into the Outlaw stuff where everybody had a great time, a good time. You bring your family and you see nothing but a bunch of smiles and people that's just like, man, that was a great night.
You're also in a timeline right now where you've got classes you can go as fast as you want to in. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of classes you can dial in at cheap. And now there's plenty of classes where you can get Truck Wars at $590, Little Gangsters at $530, and then the $630 class. So we're covering some bases right now. Junior said, get a good announcer. Thanks, bud. To help entertain the fans. Have the guys provide nicknames, truck names, and sponsors if they have any. Obviously, I'm not an announcer. I wouldn't mind getting an announcer soon. Rye Kemp is going to be announcing a lot of our big stuff, and I think Rye's awesome.
He does a great job.
Dude, he's so good, and he takes it so serious, and he loves it as much as anybody I've ever met. But you guys already have nicknames in your Truck Wars group.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to just go through there and match them up to who they are, and I can say those.
Well, that's the thing, like, for me growing up, and he brings out a good point. So I've only been to Greer 2 or 3 times. I've been down to Greer, and they got a great announcer. One night I went into the stand and said, hey, man, I want to do a little video with you for my YouTube. I said, you do an awesome job. Because when I was a kid going to Shuffletown, the one thing that always stuck out to me the most was the announcer. He'd be tower side, we got blah, blah, and he'd just be calling out numbers. And even if you ain't paying attention, you hear a number and you would look. Like he was very good at just keeping, and that's like my last video on here.
It's like Larry
my biggest problem is I can't stand awkward silence. So if I can ramble on the same subject for 10 hours straight. Just to keep it from being weird and being quiet. You know what I mean? Like people are like, oh, you talk a lot.
I don't think you like awkward having a breath. Is what
I just don't like that weirdness. Like you ever get to where you stare at somebody and y'all are just like,
yeah.
I'll change topics, but that's just my problem is I don't know when to shut up.
Well, and that's what I'm having trouble on here. I'm like, God Almighty, with nobody to stop me, I've ran through all the information I have, and not many people are asking questions. And I'm like,
It's
I'm
gonna
gonna get
suck.
a short show tonight, because I
I
ain't
was
got
sitting
nothing
here.
to talk about.
I was sitting here doing my taxes, and it gives me a headache. I hate doing them every year. It's just one of the things. So I'm sitting here doing it, and I even forgot about tonight's video. And I heard Nikki turn her phone on, and I heard your voice. I said, "Oh crap!" I said, "Hold on, I can get back to these taxes in a minute." So I turned it on. I seen you. I said, "Where's everybody at?" I was like, "Hold on, let me see if I can get up on. I ain't gonna leave my man hanging like I ain't." That's a rough thing to talk to yourself.
It is. It's tough. Well, I mean, if you've got something to really go off about, sure, but there's not much happening right now. I've got the race coming up this weekend. I even went through, I don't know if you called it, but I went through back to 2018 and found the original winner of the Footbrake Madness race.
That's right when I turned it on.
And
I heard you calling out the leaders.
Yeah. And I'm like, by the time I done all that, right, I'm like, look at the clock.
6 minutes in. Yeah,
Yeah,
6, 8 minutes. I know. I said, God, I said, hell, I ain't gonna leave my house. I said, let me send him a link, see if I can get up on there. Just because of that you have to have contrast. Because like I said, if you don't have something to take you off topic, you'll blow through all the topics real quick.
Yeah. Michael Long, the 530s, what I'm gonna do pretty soon is I'm gonna sit down and pick dates out. I'm gonna get with Sammy, make sure where his truck wars are gonna be. Because if I can stay off in a perfect world, it doesn't rain. If I can keep everybody off each other, great. But like he said, truck wars could fall in with any of you guys. Hell, some of them might even try to double enter. But I will have a schedule out just for 530s on Thursday nights. Any front wheel drive Outlaws? No, never.
Hey, no, listen. We ain't got front wheel drive Outlaws, but you can bring a front wheel drive car to Outlaws. Like I told them that you can bring your all wheel drive car to Outlaws. I don't even care if you got a 4-cylinder car. You don't have no rules. You show up with whatever you want to show up. I talked to Brandon Cooley and all of them. If you have a front wheel drive car or you have something you just want to race beside an Outlaw car, we welcome you. It does not matter if it's a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder car. It could be all-wheel drive. It could be front-wheel drive. We do not discriminate. So if you want to bring it out there and run with us, we welcome you.
So one thing I do with the Outlaw stuff is you pay a one-time $50 entry fee, and that goes straight into your points fund. That'll pay out, and I spread it amongst the top 5 this year. And I typically chase like $1,000 to $1,500 sponsor. And whatever I make off of entry fees and whatever I got sponsorship, I sat down with that and I divvy it out across the top 5. So even if you're wanting to play in the Outlaws, like you're like, man, I might not race but once or twice, that $50 is going to the points fund. So somebody's going to get, one of the racers is going to get it.
So have we talked about this? Have we talked about, so is the first Thursday going to be the list race or is that going to be the tournament race?
Well, I haven't specifically said it. In my mind, the first race is the list, and then the third will be the shootout.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm curious to see how that goes. I feel like a few guys kind of quit coming when we done away with the list. And I've always argued the point, once again, you go into what I like personally, but that's not what sells. I want a shootout. I like a winner at the end of the night. I also heard some rumblings of people that were tired of racing the same guy. But on the other hand, I know how happy people got to be just number 10. Like, I remember there were guys coming up and they're like, man, I can't believe I even made the list. I'm just tickled to death to be number 10 right now. And I thought, that's cool. That's something fun that people can kind of make their own goal for. So I'm curious to see if that picks up this year and how the shootouts do as well. I'm curious to see if there's like a divide. Like, do you have just guys running top 10, just guys running that? Is there a lot of crossover or not? So we'll see how that goes this year.
I think we'll have some that merge both ways. I have 18 to 19 people that's interested. Of people, a lot of them's not people that's ever really been there. There's some of them have been, you know what I mean? But I have 18 to 19 people. I know out of that group, I'll have 8 to 10 people that are solid wants to race. You know what I mean? Like out of the people I'm seeing, I know 8 to 10 of them is going to show up and race. I still believe we'll probably have nights. We'll have 14 or 16 cars. You know, I
Yep.
think we will. I have spoke many a time with people that said, "Hey, I just want to be number 10. I want to be in the top 10 on your list." And I've spoken to people say, "Hey, my whole goal is to be. I can't outrun Justin Lane, but I'd like to be. I'd like to be number 5 on the list. You know, like I just want to get in the top 5."
Yeah,
And
there's a
so
sense of
I,
pride you have fighting in that area.
yes, and I think that's great. And what I also think about it is like somebody like me that had a car that was not really a 10 car, but was more to the other side, spend a year and a half starting at the back up, working my way forwards to have an upset, to start back over, to have an upset where like, hey, I might not can't run that number 1 guy on first Thursday, but I might get off in his ass on the third Thursday. You know what I mean? Like we might can run him. We might pair up. We might get here. So that's what I think is the good part about it, because you're not hung up on a spot. And the people that's more dedicated can show up on that first Thursday, and the people that just want to show up and run outlaws that for a tournament style, they don't like if you got your like you said earlier, if you got your kids, you got your family, they got school, and you got your wife, you don't have to be there every third Thursday if you don't want to
Yep.
be. So
You
just
make
makes it easier.
that decision. Like, I just want to race every now and again. I don't care about points. I don't care about the list. I just want to be in that shootout. Or you can say, I'm going after the shootout points, or I'm just going after number 1 on the list, or I'm going after both. It's a lot of options next year for guys, man.
I think
I'm
it's good. I splits it up a little bit, and like I said, it makes it where like bare minimum, you can make it to the track once a month. Period. If you're an out shootout guy, you can make it once a month. If you're an outlaw list guy, you can make it once a month. If you want to run truck wars, it's once a month. If you want to run 530s, it's once a month. If you want to run anything on 28, we're gonna try to get you once a month. Like we're gonna try to get all these races in at different times, but we
Yeah.
don't want you wearing and tearing your car, running the guts out of it for nothing neither. You know, we want you to be we the main thing is Thursday night is a test and tune night, and people have to remember it's about test and tune. There's going to be oil downs, there's going to be spillages, there's going to be stuff that happens because if Joe Blow over here comes there, comes over there and pushes water on the track, it's a test and tune night. Test and tune. That's the
Yeah.
purpose of test and tune. You're going to have oil downs. It just, last year we done pretty good with oil downs. Like we didn't really have a lot of oil downs last year. It was very, very, very smooth. I can only count 2 or 3 on my head that I remember last year of even really having.
No,
Like it was
2 years ago, it got rough, and we kind of started beating people over the head. Like, hey, get your shit box cleaned
I
up.
they
Like,
come and told me, listen, I had an injector that I didn't realize was a problem. And it cost me a whole lot of money. It cost me 2 years and a lot of money because I was thinking, well, it's aluminum rod, just this. I had an idea in my head because I knew what worked and I knew what I changed. So
yeah,
I changed back, and I kept tearing and could not figure it out. But my ego wouldn't let me just go, man, I need to figure this out because I ain't gonna say that because we had it on the dyno and it'd make great power. I'd come to the track that night and blow a head gas out of nowhere. Like it was nothing. I was like, and it's not like I'm in an area we ain't been. We've been 420s with a freaking LS motor. You know what I mean? Like multiple LS motors. So it's not like we're in an area that I've never seen. I mean, I'm on boosts that I had on cars I drive down the street out here every day. So it's like stuff that did not make sense. And I'm changing out coils. I'm changing out everything. And the one thing I didn't change out was injectors that I had thought I had changed out. And one day I come to the track, me and Caden's getting ready. And I think we went out there and went like 620. It was we were getting ready for a no prep race, didn't have no boost on it, and it got a head gas. I said, man, that thing ain't got but like 18 pounds of boost on it. I was like, something wrong. I was like, come home, pulled the injectors out of it, and found one that would work intermediately, and that's when my issues fixed itself. And
that's
but it
rough.
cost me a lot. It cost me a lot.
That's rough. Well, yeah, I mean, everybody knows you're not going out there and pushing head gaskets out for fun.
Exactly.
You're not doing it.
Uh,
Like, listen, son, we're going to go out here and we're going to push it out again.
There was times I was spending $2,500, $3,000 on head gaskets trying to make this thing run, not including the blocks that I was hurting and the rings, having to re-ring them, putting them into another block and welding the heads up and getting them decked and everything else. There was times I was spending a lot of money just to show up on Thursday night just to try to figure out my issue.
Yeah.
But it's growing pains, part of it.
Well, we got a couple minutes left here, and Corey just sent me the next 10 to be released. So if you're still tuned in, I can read those off. Me and Sammy will talk about these guys just a little bit, and Corey will have the list posted tomorrow. So usually he's got the pretty graphic for you, and he'll post it. I don't have that. Corey, he's fell out on me. He's struggling right now. So y'all keep him in your prayers. But your next 10 is going to be Cole Pez. For one of your next 10, you know, Cole Pez.
Bad ride. That's the blue Corvette. Bad ride.
Yeah, just won. What you call it?
Yep.
Memphis Reigns.
Love that car.
It's so cool.
I mean, only thing I hate about it is a small block Ford because I'm not a small block Ford guy. But
Yep.
I never thought you could make one of them cars. My dad had one when I was a kid. And I never thought that one of them cars could look like that dude. I seen his car and I was like, that's a bad hot rod.
No, it's a cool one. A lot of people like that car, and it's fast. I mean, it is
cool name. Got a cool name. It's like the whole,
Yeah.
the paint to the lettering to everything about that car. Except I'm not a big fan of race star wheels. You know what I mean? It has some race stars. I need some real wheels on it, but everything about that freaking car is gangster. It's just a bad ride.
Yeah. Nick Taylor coming in.
He's a good dude.
He's good. He's a real good dude, and he races about everything there is to race. He doesn't seem to shy away from races. So excited to have him back. Boost 12 going to be back in the house.
Bad dude right there too.
Gabriel Sigler.
I don't know if I know him or not.
I'd have to see his car.
Hmm.
Scott Taylor.
We all know Scott. Yeah.
Russell Stone.
It's a bad dude.
Rob Bowden.
Don't know him.
Lance Carnegie.
Don't think I know him neither.
And Chase Womack. That's your next 10.
Chase Womack's a bad dude.
Yep.
I've seen him here recently. I don't know much about him, but I've seen his name pop up here recently.
There's not a name on that list that ain't bad right now.
No, period. Well, that's what I said. I've said forever. I said, like, I was actually just talking to Chris Tucci the other day or whatever. Me and him was talking, and I gave him some tires. He come by the shop, and I put some tires on some rims for him. And I was telling him, I said, here in North Carolina, I said, for a long time, we've had drag racing on lock for this where we are because we can race usually about every week. We can race where they're up in upstate New York. You got maybe 2 months or whatever. I don't know what their thing is, or even like there's different areas of the country. Like Texas is getting fast. Georgia's always been fast. North Carolina, South Carolina's always been top of the thing for me. Florida, they're getting their stuff together now because now everybody's realizing they can race year round and they got enough money down there to make stuff fast. But for a long time, North Carolina and South Carolina was the place because we have NASCAR country, we have technology, we have people that just race. And you could take a Shadyside Outlaw car and show up to a front side race at most tracks across the country and do really, really well. Where like a lot of guys stopped coming to North Carolina because they realized how hard the competition is. It's like Team Denver, North Carolina, ain't Denver, Colorado. With them, they go out and do really well everywhere else. Well, when they first started, people would come here and run the no preps. And then they started getting their butt kicked and realizing, oh, them dudes are fast. And then now they got to go to their backyard to beat up on because they won't come here no more because we just have the ability to race a lot.
Those guys have to be the winningest team in no prep.
Oh, 100%. It ain't even close.
That's the only bad thing. I think I was talking to Anna about this last night. How terrible it is we didn't keep the data from some of these races. Like to go back now, anything that happened in the AccuTime era at Shadyside, I can go back and get. But anything before that, it's lost to the chronicles of history. Like unless you've got a picture and can date it and tell us, it's hard to remember that stuff. And I'm like, man, I wish I had that, because there's some guys out there that are bad. Like up until today, I didn't, or yesterday, I didn't know Chad Dotson had won 2 of the Footbrake Madness races. So,
Yeah.
and that was back to back years for him. So
But that's why I think, like, we really need to one day, we need to add on to concessions. We need to add on to a building, add a seating area. You know what I mean? Like one day we need to add on to it, and that way we can pepper them, or we can paint them walls with pictures. You know what I mean? We said pepper them. We can paint, like, because like one thing, like me going around the different tracks like Wilkesboro, I walk in there and they used to have signs all over it. Now the last guy I was there, they were taking signs out. They were doing some different stuff. I don't like erasing that history. I like walking through and seeing the different cars and seeing them up on there and seeing the winter circle pictures. Like, to me, that's the cool stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that is the stuff that really, you see somebody who won in 1996. Like you don't know that guy. And to me, I wonder if that guy still races. I wonder if he's still around. I wonder if he's alive. I wonder, and I think Shadyside needs that.
You'll be surprised, dude. I found an old, like, had to be late 80s picture of Shadyside points champions, and Turtle Brandon was the champion that year, and he's still out racing. Robert Hamrick, there's years.
He's been there forever.
And he's won several points championships. And I mean, he just go back to the Pro Mod Chronicles, man. Like Tommy Mooney, Scotty Cannon, all those guys have won down there. And it's something that we've talked about in depth, is like standing in front of that tower. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of bad dudes that have stood right there. So when you take your picture in front of that tower, you're standing somewhere where Tommy Mooney was, where Scotty Cannon.
That's where Pro Mod started at. You know what I mean? Right here in this area is where Pro Mod Quick 8 cars started at. And that's that's the only thing I think. That's why, like, I feel like we live in the moment. And that's one of the things with my YouTube stuff I try to do, is I just try to record the races for memories, because living in the moment, you don't think about yesterday. You don't think about 10 years ago. You live for today. And then you one day, okay, great, let's win tomorrow. But 10 years from now, somebody would like to see that picture of you and your hot rod right there. And I think we need something like that. I think something like that would be awesome. So if one day we could ever get a building, like a concession area where people get a diner they can sit in, to where they could just walk around and look at pictures around the walls, I think that would be pretty freaking awesome.
I'd like to build some sort of archive now. Like Buck Hamrick has a lot of pictures, so I need to get with him. There's a lot up at the house that Grandma and Grandpa have, but I need to really, and this will be a wintertime project. I'm about out of winter, but I really need to sit down one winter and just locate anything I can find and start piecing it together. And I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some blanks, but I bet you'd be surprised if we started really pushing it, like putting it out there, like, hey, if you know who the track champion was in this year, let us know.
That'd be awesome.
Who won this race, let us know. And then Junior just mentioned the Outlaw 10 5 days, Mike Hill, Mike Donahue, Terry Roberts.
If you ain't never been on a start, if you wasn't around in 10 5 days, and that's how I knew Corey was on to something, because I remember Shadyside, like, I've been going there my whole life, but I remember like 2006, 2007 area. Like, I remember how big it was, and showing up for the races and seeing the cars and all that, and watch cars run 430s and 440s and stuff like that. And it blowing my mind, being like, man, that's bad. And then I remember that when radials took over, I remember when and slicks just went to nothing. So I knew, like, the radial stuff, we were at the end of our radial stuff now, to where people are begging to go back to slicks, because it's time for that mix up. It's time to swap it around, get the new class in. But I think y'all need to go online one day and just photobomb Facebook. Just throw the pictures on there. Just make a freaking Shadyside, Shades of the Past at Shadyside or something. You know what I mean? And just upload each image. And then, if somebody sees them, they can tag who the person was. If you don't have the name of it, they can, oh, that was my grandpa's car. That was this. I remember seeing that, because I've seen pictures of Shadyside that you've never seen. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen videos and stuff like that from where family members of mine went and raced, and you turn around and have it and stuff like that. So, like, I
Well,
think
and
that would
like
be something awesome.
we're in a good time where, like, if people don't know how to use the technology, if I could get them to bring it to me, or even call and say, "Listen, I want my pictures back," but I could scan those things, and we've got them, and I can pack them into something the size of a freaking penny now,
Yep.
and we'll have them forever. At least
We need
until
it.
AI kills us all.
Well, we need that. That's just something that needs, because that's something we've never had there. You know what I mean? Like, something we don't have that. We've never had the facility for that. You know what I mean? We don't have the concessions to put the winners on it and stuff like that. So that's a great idea. And another question real quick.
Yeah.
When we getting our sign back?
The Corvette,
Yes.
I got to do some calling on that.
Well, we got to get that. Listen, if he don't want to paint it, I can go pick it up. I can throw some fiberglass on that thing. I can get that thing painted pretty easily. I know what we had planned, what we talked about plans on it,
Yeah.
but we need our sign back. You know what I mean? Before the gel coat falls off that thing.
I want to get that done. My goal is to get it done and get it where it can functions well enough to put it on like a pedestal where people can get in and out of it, and take pictures.
No, that would be awesome. That would be awesome for somebody like the Australian people that come over here. They come over here, they could tape that. That would be awesome. It would just be awesome.
Did you see the post we shared where Visit Cleveland County made us a Valentine card?
I didn't.
Okay, it's shared to the page. I can't remember what it says, but they had a picture of the old vet, and they had like photoshopped some smoke on it. It said like, "You make my heart do burnouts" or something, and it was on the Visit Cleveland County page. I thought it was.
That's awesome.
The county's done some pretty cool stuff with us lately, like sharing that stuff, and that's nice to see, because I know a lot of towns like can fight racetracks. I think there's been a good movement. The governor just had the bill pass for the nuisance law, where if you move where a track was, you can't complain about it, basically, in layman's terms.
They should go open Shuffletown back up because of that reason. They should just go back over there. Just when they should just open it back up. Hey, listen, the track's still there. It's got about 40 feet took out of the end of it where they took a section out of it, but the track is still there. The tower's falling. The trees are growing up all the way to the edge of the guardrail. And there's a couple of them starting to grow up in the track, but the surface is still there. It's still a racetrack there, but they got a park built around it. So
maybe we can get Corey to do a no prep race there.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? We'll just go trim the trees back. Hey, one time I thought about doing it. I thought about, let's go here and trim these trees back. I'll bring my old skid steer down here. We'll throw us a little road in here from the back side, and we'll be our own little racetrack.
I wonder how long it's lasts.
About 20 minutes.
It wouldn't last long.
It wouldn't last long. Oh.
Well, I guess that'll wrap it up, dude. I appreciate you coming on.
All right. We'll see you later. We appreciate you. Y'all have a good night. Hey, subscribe to the YouTube channel right there. Shadyside, subscribe. We'll see y'all later.
Boost is my friend.
Oh, we ain't worried about that. They already subscribed to me. We appreciate you.
Everybody.
Hey, if they ain't. But you listen. I don't go begging for nothing. You like me, you like me. If you don't like me, it is what it is.
Anyway, check out Boost is my friend on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll see y'all later.
Yep. Y'all take it easy. Thank you for joining in, and we'll see you hopefully Saturday and Sunday.